All right, go get a drink of water. Hello everybody and welcome to Crafty Hour, number 64. So this kit was amazing. I at first thought, gosh, there's not going to be enough to design with in here. And then I was like, holy cow, I couldn't stop. I loved this kit. This kit was amazing. It was totally amazing. So I hope you guys loved it. I know if you need to grab more papers, we do have more paper available. We do have more laser cuts available. So it was just stunning and beautiful. Something about these colors just made it super easy to design with. So we're going to do two cards because, kind of like Deanna, there's a lot of layers, there's a lot of pieces, there's a lot to these two cards. So instead of rushing it, we're going to do a lot of layers and a lot of stuff. So welcome everybody. This is Kourtney with Scrapbook-N-Memories in Harrisonville, Missouri. And welcome to Crafty Hour 64. So thank you everybody who purchased a kit and is going to craft along with us. And let me just tell you, the die set that we included in this, our exclusive die that we redesigned and resized it to make it fit for an A2 card. I'm in love with this die and I hope you guys are too. This one will be making an appearance in more Crafty Hours because it is fabulous. I love it and I'm going to be using it quite often. It is going to be a new staple that is out on my desk because there's just a little something about that torn edge that I love, and the fact that we resized it to fit on an A2 card, no other ones are sized like that, just makes it perfect. So let's get started. So I gave you guys some homework, and on the homework there was a lot of optional items. If you don't have these items, it's okay. Use what you have or just omit that and do something else. You do not have to have all the pieces. These are layers, and layers are layers, and you can layer them on top of each other. You can add stuff, you can take it away. I'm going to give you another idea on something too. Went to go find my scraps. So yeah, there's so much you guys can do with these. So, Iceland. Oh my gosh, I'm super jelly. Hi, Scruffy. Okay, I was digging to try to find one item. I don't know what I did with it. All of my leftover pieces I bagged, and I wanted to show you guys something, but I don't know where it went, so maybe I won't. Oh, I did. I have it right here. So let me grab, I'm going to grab one of the other pieces. Okay. So what we're going to kind of start with, I had you do for homework. This is all the Katie Pertet line from Arden. Absolutely love them. I did use, these were add-on items that I know a bunch of you guys purchased when you bought the Crafty Hour kit. So I really wanted to work these into the kit because I knew a lot of you guys had them. So there's the stamp set. I'm going to be using this stamp right here. If you don't have the stamp set, it's okay. It's just a layer. Either don't stamp it or grab some other layering stamp you have. You probably have something from All In Create or Spellbinders or Indigo Blue or somebody else, but any kind of stamp to build a background will work. This PET tape. Now, I am going to say there is no sub for this. If you haven't grabbed this tape, grab it. This tape is amazing. It's phenomenal. I would suggest grabbing a roll or two of this because it is fantabulous. So we're going to play with that too. And then this is the die, the Film Strip Essentials 01. We both have these in stock, so you can grab all this stuff in store on our website if you don't have them yet. For homework, I had you die cut these pieces out, and what those pieces were is 3 of the full-size film strips, one of just the one little film strip, and one of the slide. And I love this slide. And if you guys don't have this die and you don't have the slide, this is what I did with it. I made it look like a little specimen. If you don't have it, this thing is in your laser cuts. And I think it's supposed to be a luggage tag that hangs, but to me it kind of looked like a magnifying glass. So you can do the same idea. I put acetate on here and then put the little bug on there. So if you don't have the slide die, you can totally do the same idea and effect from this little guy that is in your laser cuts. Okay, so there's that. So that's an alternative for you guys. Okay, let me just scoot my mat. I need to clean my mat off. Okay, so let's get started. Oh, you grabbed 2 rolls. Good thing. 1 to collect and 1 to use is what I always say. Grab 2. 1 to use, 1 to collect. So what we're going to start with is card number 1, and we're going to start with an A2 card base, and it's just black card base. Also in the homework, I had you guys grab your die cuts. Now, I think this is all of them, but we might get down the road and discover maybe I missed one because I put a lot of layers on there, so we might have missed one. But here, I'm just going to lay them all at the top. So if you guys haven't punched them out yet, go ahead and punch them. This guy was a green tag. Deanna used half of it, and she left the other half for me. So I used the other half of it because, well, you know what? I just love the tags, and I just ripped mine. Just rip it. Okay, so there's all the die cuts to kind of grab out of your kit, and that was homework to grab those. And then just a A2 card base, which is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. That's kind of what we're starting with. 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. Then in your paper collection, we're going to grab this one. It is a script. Deanna did not use this one, and I'm kind of happy she didn't because I loved this one. So she gave me a full page to use. So we are going to use the full page. Now, when we cut it, we're going to make sure not to cut through this because we're going to use this somewhere else, okay? But this is the one that I call script. So I'm going to flip it over to this side so when we cut it, we don't accidentally cut it wrong. And we're going to cut it at 5 3/8. So I'm going to put it sideways. So my flowers that I want to keep are going to be over here on the side. And we're going to do 5 3/8. So 1, 2, 3. And we're going to slice it. This piece set to the side. We'll come back to that later. And then we're going to flip this. And now it doesn't matter where we take the 4 1/8 out of because I might see if I can save that flower. Nope, it's going to get chopped either way. So 4 1/8 is going to be our other measurement. And we're going to be using the script side. Okay, the script side. And all of my big papers, I inked brown. I just used Vintage Photo to ink those, so nothing fancy. I think Deanna suggested frayed burlap, gathered twigs would also be nice. Just whatever brown you had. I thought the brown just really kind of tied these in, and you've heard me say numerous times, I ink my edges because it stops the eye, and it kind of blends your backgrounds in more, so I love to ink those. You could also ink these black. Black would work too. I just kind of like the brown and black combo. And then you're going to glue this down flat, and when you glue it down, it's kind of hard to see because my mat's black. We're black on black. But you're just going to have a little bit of black all the way around the outside edges. And I'm just using my regular Nuvo glue, just a white glue. And we're going to glue that on and have black all the way around the outside edges. Okay. So there is our script on the black. Easy peasy. Okay, I'm going to set this to the side, and the next piece we're going to need is this piece right here, okay? It's got, I don't know how to explain that, but there's the back side, here's the front side of it. And this is what we're going to call cream piece. So it is going to be 4 by 5 1/4, okay? And it might already be pretty dang close to that. So all the papers we kind of cut in half. So that kind of made them at 4 inches. So this one is already at 4 inches, which it's kind of a hair off. So I will cut that on my other trimmer. So it's going to be 4 by 5 1/4. So 5 1/4. And then save this piece, because I think I came back to him later too. So we're going to use that. I used a lot of scraps this time. Lots of scraps, because sometimes that's just how I design. Whatever's on my table, it gets glued down some days. Man, I cut these papers crooked is what I did. Okay, I'm just cleaning that one up. So this piece is what's going to happen, is it's going to go right in the center of our script. So you're going to see a little bit of black script all the way around the outside edges of it. Don't glue it down yet. I'm going to go ahead and ink it. And then we're going to grab that lovely die set out. Like I said, I just love this die set. And we're going to turn it into a shaker card. So this one's going to be a shaker. You know, I love me some shakers. Okay, so a little bit of brown on there. The die we're going to use, so you got your die. This is the biggest ones. There's your large one. And then we have number 2. Not using that one. Then we have number 3. Okay. So largest from inside out, you got 1, 2, and 3. We're using number 3. So number 3, we're going to cut directly out of the center of this, and it'll give us a nice edging on it, so we are able to put our shaker and our foam on there. So I'm going to go die cut this. Where's my die cutting machine? Under my feet. Hold on. I'll just grab my die cutter because it's right here. So we're just going to cut the center out of that, and I'm just using my iCrafter. This is my self-healing mat. I absolutely love this mat because it doesn't warp my mats. It doesn't warp anything. And, well, it's self-healing. Now I got to find... Anybody else spend half their time crafting saying, where's my? Okay, so this piece we are not going to use, but you can put that in a pile and use it for something later. It's a really cool piece, so don't discard it. And I'm going to go ahead and brown now the inside edge also of that tattered, torn edge. Oh my gosh, I just love it. It is a fabulous, fabulous die. I know some of you that didn't get it are probably having some serious FOMO right now. We say, trust the process. We will not lead you astray. Okay, so there's that piece. We're going to flip it over and we're going to turn it into a shaker card. So the first step to making a shaker card is we need to put some score tape, some dry adhesive on the back side of it. And this is what our acetate will stick to. It's a little tricky to use liquid glues with acetates because it moves and shifts on you and it takes a little while to dry. So by using the score takes, Suquang takes, red line tapes, it's just easier to do it. Oh no, I heard Canadian Post was going on strike again. Our shipping companies even warned us that Canada was going on strike again. Okay, so I'm grabbing some acetate. This is my favorite one. This is Dress My Craft. This is the 175 mil, I think it is. It says, yes, mil. This one's my favorite. It's not too thick. It's not too thin. You can make bases with that. I know, right? Crafter's lingo. Where's my? Okay, so this piece needs to be the same size as our cream, which is 4 by 5 1/4. Okay? 4 by 5 1/4. And sometimes I do it just a hair smaller. That way, if I don't line it up perfectly, I don't have to worry about it and cut off something. Okay, 5 1/4. Where's my? Oh. finding acetate is the worst because it's clear. So you lose those little clear pieces laying somewhere. Like I know I have a scrap of one somewhere that I'm going to do the little acetate window with, and I lost it already too. So it'll show up someday. Okay, we're going to take that backing off of our tape, and then we're just going to stick our acetate down. Ooh. Hope I make it. Hope I don't go over. I'm trying to, got a lot here. Okay, sticking our acetate down. Maybe put yours on straighter than I put mine. So now, because I didn't put mine on straight, I gotta chop that off the back there. That's okay, I'll grab my handy dandy scissors. I love these scissors from Dress My Craft. These puppies are sharp and they glide really nice. No effort. Okay, so there's that. Okay. Is that a dog hair or a scratch? That is a scratch. We're going to go with it. We'll cover it. Okay, so now there's our shaker panel window. We got to put foam tape on the back now. Foam tape on the back. And you want to put the foam tape all the way around the edges because you do not want any of your little jibbly bits to fall out. So we're just going to build a square. Build a square. We have no loose jibbly bits. And I just used gold sequins. This seemed to be my go-to. I seem to use gold sequins because it matches everything. Kind of like Deanna's gold foil. It matches everything. And you don't have to think about it. Okay, so then we're just going to box it in. Oh, lots of people cooking dinner. What's for dinner tonight? Okay, and then I'll just use my scraps here to kind of box it in. So I hope you girls had a chance, and guys, if we have any on, to join Deanna this morning with her crafty hour. She did 2 fabulous cards. There was a little hiccup with the internet, and there is 2 recordings. So you could probably skip the first one because she sums everything up in the second one. But look, there will be 2 recordings. So if you get one that's not the full length, look for the other one. You'll see it there. Ooh, stuffed pasta, Olive Garden, beef stir fry. Man, you guys are Chef Boyardee's. Okay. Trying to box mine up. Look at that. I ran out of foam tape on one little square. Let's see if I have a square I can put on there. There we go. Okay, there's our piece. And we're going to put some little sequins in here. Little jibbly bits. Yeah, that's a good amount. Kind of spread them out a little bit. I like to spread them out a little bit because if you keep them in a pile, sometimes when you put your top on, your pile gets stuck. Actually, I think it needs a little bit more. Oop. Perfect. Perfect. If you don't have gold sequins, invest in some gold sequins. They match everything. And then don't forget too, if you guys can't find our recordings, give us a little bit, but we are uploading them all to our YouTube channel. That way it'll be easier to follow them there. So make sure you're following Scrapbook-N-Memories and Clipper Street on YouTube. So we've been doing that for you guys. Okay, let's then put this guy on. When you put him on, you're going to have a little bit of black showing all the way around the outside edge of that black script. Whew, use your words, okay? And then there's our shaker. Is that not gorgeous? That right there, I think, is beautiful in itself. Okay, then we're going to grab this piece of paper. Remember I said we had that piece of paper from before? we are going to use this fabulous PET tape. And like I said, if you guys have not grabbed one yet, grab at least one roll. This stuff is fabulous. So I'm going to do 2 full ones, and then we're going to go 1, 2, we'll say 2 up. 2 up, and I'm just going to slice it. Now, I did find the most challenging part of this was peeling the back of that little booger off. Because it is a peel and stick. It's just a little booger. And I don't remember if I took my pokey tool. I eventually got it off. If I took my pokey tool and got it off. All of our technical terms. No, I should have put that in your homework, to peel your backing off and prep it. Kind of like threading a needle. It could take you longer or shorter. That is what I found was the most challenging for this stuff, was just getting that, there we go, that little back off. So we're going to peel this off, and I didn't save that, but there's a piece of acetate if you need a piece of acetate. And I took the one that had the little portion of it, and we're just going to take and center that beautiful flower. And look at how cool that is. Is that not stunning? How cool that is. Okay, now I'm just going to square it up. Flip over to the back. Probably should have done it with a trimmer. But I love the vintage look because it kind of has brown on this negative already. And you could totally put your own photos in there. You can put paper in here, to all kinds of stuff. But look at how fun that is. Is that not stunning? I love it. So if you have not grabbed a roll of this stuff yet, definitely grab a roll. I think it is going to be so cool. And I saw Katie shared, I think it was Katie shared something this morning that I thought was pretty cool. Okay, so let me look. I got to remember what we did here. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is glue this guy down. So now we're going to our card base. We're going to glue him down. I'm just going to use my liquid glue on there because it will come in contact with some paper. It also comes in contact with some acetate, and we're going to glue that on. And I'm going to do it at an angle, and I am okay. I love to come off the edges of my cards. So you're going to see I came off over here. I came off over there. So we're going to come off the edge of our card, and I am okay with that. Okay, then the next thing I did was I took this big guy, this big one that we had, and we're just going to run it along the bottom of our card from side to side. Okay, so for that, all I did is kind of go in and just spot check some liquid glue in some spots to kind of hold her down. And it is going to go from side to side. Now, again, you can put it straight. You can put it crooked. I think I'm going to put mine a hair crooked. Wish I had my little block to sit on there to hold that down. Got a glass block. Ha. We'll set that on there while that dries. Okay, so we're just holding that little film strip thing down. While that's drying, we're going to grab this guy. So this is the little slide. I call it the little slide. It has a perforated edge on there, and we're just going to fold it in half and score. Boy, it might take me the whole time just to do one card. And then we're going to open it up. We are going to put acetate on both sides. I better speed up or I'm never going to get this card done. I guess the last one's a little bit faster. This one had some technique. So we're just going to go in. We're going to put score tape. And I put it on both sides because I wanted it to look like a real slide. And I wanted to hide my adhesive too when I glued my little butterfly down. So I'm just putting a thin thing of score tape all the way around both sides of that little slide die. Like I said, if you do not have the slide die, it's okay. You do not have to put this part on your card. I was just trying to give you guys some different ideas. If you don't have the slide die in your laser cuts, there's this thing that I think looks like a little magnifying glass. You can put acetate on there and put your little butterfly on, so that gives you an alternative idea. Okay, then we're just going to cut these guys down. What you could probably do, no, it won't stick. It won't stick to the PET tape. We're just going to cut these guys down and put them on that little window. I threw the one to the side that I cut. Is that going to fit? Yes, it's going to fit. So we're going to put acetate on both sides, and then we're going to sandwich our little butterfly in there. So it makes it look like a real slide. What would also look cute for this is to put some of the flowers or fern pieces in. What would also look cool is to go out in your garden, because there are tons of flowers blooming right now, and get some real flowers and press them in there. And of course that piece is too short. So press real flowers. That would be really super cute in there too. So if anybody does that, make sure to post it over in the scoop group. I totally want to see it. I want to see your guys' versions. That'll work. Okay, the little butterfly we already have. We had him in our homework to pull out. So what I'm going to do is put just a little bit of liquid glue right on the back side of him. I'm going to put him in the slide. You can put him in straight. You can put him in crooked. You can do whatever you want. And then because I love my tiny attacher, I am just going to pop a staple in that corner, and then I'm going to pop a staple in that corner, and look at how cute that is. Is that not adorable? I can't wait to make more of these and put other things in them. I think they're going to be so fun. Okay. Okay, so now it comes to tucky time. Tucky time. I'm going to put some foam squares. Let me see where I put mine. On the sides that had by the staples. So I'm going to put my pops right there. Not taking them off yet. The other little film thing we had, we're going to tucky him kind of back in here and overlap them. Thank you, Kathy. So we're just going to put some adhesive on that one, and then it's just going to get tucked in and behind here. Easier said than done. And I'm going to have it at an angle and just kind of poking out. Okay, now it comes to tucky time. So I'm just going to sit him there. He is not actually glued down yet. I'm just going to sit him there. We got our little guy poking out the side, and we're going to start grabbing things. I love that these are double-sided, because sometimes you want it facing the left, Sometimes you want it facing right, and it was perfect to have them double-sided. So I'm going to put some adhesive on the back side of that piece, and then we're just going to kind of put it coming here out of it. I want it below my flower. No, I think I want it up a little bit farther. Sorry. We're going to cover that flower a little bit. Okay, there's that piece. And then we've got more flower clusters. So we're going to kind of put that guy in like that. Again, just kind of lightly spot check them. I had you guys punch these out in advance because they are very dainty and you can rip them. And I didn't want you to feel rushed trying to take them out, but it's okay because if you rip it, you can always just glue a piece in on that. Just glue her back together. Okay, so there's kind of our greenery pieces that we got going. We're just layering pieces in. Just layering pieces in. And that's where I kind of keep that guy floating. Then we have these two identical leaves. Okay, we're going to kind of tuck one down in here. So he's coming out. Again, I have him going off my card. I like going beyond the perimeters. Beyond the perimeters. And these cards would be cute to put on scrapbook pages. You can put them in journals. There's so much you can kind of do with these. Okay, so there's that leaf. And then this one we're going to put up in that corner. I always like to do things at an angle here. So whatever I do at the top right, I like to do at the bottom left. Or sorry, top left, bottom right. Because it just kind of looks good having the same thing in both spots. So I always try to find kind of embellishments that look similar to kind of carry them across. So those two leaves were similar. Then we have these little, I don't know, berries, kind of like a little berry. We're going to do the same thing with those. Again, kind of coming out, overlapping those same pieces. How cute that is. Oh my gosh, I love it. It's just coming to life. This stem, I'm going to kind of cut it off because it just kind of got in the way. We're not going to use it. And then that greenery, we're going to kind of tuck up in here. Oh, I wanted it underneath those berries. Let me see if my berries are dry yet. Nope, I can pluck my berries. So we'll put a little adhesive on there. Getting there. We have Find Your Piece. I'm going to put that over the slide. And our slide still isn't glued down. He's still kind of floating. We haven't made his home yet because we're still kind of tucky in things. These dragonflies. Oh, I was so excited. Deanna left me both of the dragonflies. I used them both. I loved them. The little stapler is the Tim Holtz Tiny Attacher. Both of our stores carry those. And it does the adorable little baby staples. I love it. Okay, and then I'm going to go ahead and stick this guy down. So I've got foam on there. We're just going to peel that off. And we're going to stick that down just like that at an angle. And then I've got the little green ticket stub left. We're going to kind of sneak that over here. I'm going to put it behind the leaf. Sneak that kind of in the bottom corner to add another layer. And then we have one more left, which is the little postage stamp. And I'm going to grab my tweezers because this guy's really small. And we're going to add some glue to him. And then we're just going to tuck him over here on the other side. Deanna is doing accounting and using her tiny tape attacher. See, it works for everything. I use my tiny attacher too a lot to staple my bills and my accounting. And you know why? Because it's usually the only stapler I can find. The other ones I can't find. Okay, there's card 1, guys. Card number 1. How fun is that? How fun is that, guys? All right, so that is card number 1 with some of those extra items, those bonus items that match the collection. Like I said, if you don't have this die, that's okay. Put this guy on there. That guy would be really super cute doing the same idea on the card. Okay, card number 2. Let's see if we make it. I hope we don't go over. Here's card number 2. Not as detailed. I think this one will go a little bit faster. The other one had a lot of detail items on it. So let me put that here in the corner. So again, we're going to start with a card base that is A2. Look at this. Look at everything I have strung out in 38 minutes. Do you guys happen to string out that much stuff too that fast? It's like everything just jumps out of its little home. Okay, so we have a black A2 card that is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. That is standard size. Standard size. Then we're going to use the music notes. Again, I was excited that I had that one to use. I love music notes. So we're going to grab that one. And our music notes is going to be 4 by 5 1/4. Okay, and it's probably already pretty dang close to 4 if you went ahead and cut all yours in half. 4. And then we're going to do 5 1/4. 5 1/4. Okay. And then we're going to ink the edges of that. Oh, I know, right? I call it the crafter math. Crafter math. It all ends up everywhere. Oh, Evelyn, I'm glad you like the kit. Isn't it a wonderful kit? My gosh, we were so excited to be able to do a crafty hour with this. Okay, music notes, you're going to glue down flat. Just use your glue, your runners, whatever your favorite adhesive is. I know everybody has a different favorite adhesive. Put that on, and you're going to have a little bit of black showing all the way around the corners, okay? A little bit of black all the way. Then we're going to look for a music note paper. Music note paper. Or not music note, script. The back side of it has these lines. I think Deanna used this one too. We're going to use this size. And we're going to go back into our favorite dies. Okay? Favorite dies. There is size 1, size 2, size 3. Those are the kind of the ones I showed earlier. We're going to go in with die number 2. So going from the outside in, you want die number 2. And we're going to die cut this. Now, when you die cut it, kind of do it up towards the top because we're going to use this piece for something else. So kind of just, what I would do is just kind of center it from side to side and top. And then that way you kind of have a squared piece that you can use later. Nothing goes to waste. Okay, so we're going to grab our die cutting machine and we are going to die cut that little booger. And if I put my plates in straight, it wouldn't yell at me. Okay, put that die back. We're done with that one. And we're going to brown this guy. So go ahead and ink this guy. Go ahead and brown him up. Get some brown on him. Okay, and we're going to put it directly in, thank you, the center of our card, but not yet, but that's going to go directly kind of in the center eventually. Okay, so first we got to add some pieces. So remember the pieces that I told you to save from earlier? Let me see. And I know it's a layer and you probably won't even see it at the end, but I know it's there, gosh darn it, and I love it. Okay, there's that piece. So you're going to take this piece. This was your scrap from before. And you're just going to ink it. Okay, just kind of ink it up. Okay, and then this piece that we had from before, I'm just going to cut it to kind of make it look equal all the way around it, just so I can use that piece later. That's fun. I'll use that on a card or use that on something later. So just kind of save that. So that leaves you this piece, and we're going to use the stripe side. What you're going to do is just going to take it and rip it. And you want to rip it towards you, because when you rip it towards you, it's going to give you a little bit of a white edge. And I'm not ripping a lot off, just a little bit, but there's no right or wrong. We just want a ripped edge. Just a ripped edge. Okay, and I'm going to ink it. And I don't ever ink my ripped edges. I don't know why, because I just don't. But we're going to ink that. And then what I'm going to do is just glue these pieces together. Again, no rhyme or reason, just because it's a fun layer, and the scraps were laying in front of me singing to me, and they said, glue me together. So there's that. There's that little piece. Okay. Then we're going to, and again, if you don't have this, it's okay, admit it. Just skip this step. But I really wanted to work in these stamps. I love these background stamps. And the one I used was this one with the little circles. If you don't know me, I have an obsession with circles. I don't know what it is, but I love circles. I love to design with them. I love to use the bottom of my can. I love to use the bottom of my paintbrush. I love to make circles. And we're just going to ink it up and then just randomly kind of stamp on your background. Okay? Like I said, no rhyme, no reason. We're just building some interest with the same brown ink that we've been inking our edges with. Same brown ink. We're just going to build some edges and build that. Okay? And I just used the one with the circle. Then I'm just going to clean my stamp off, because this is just a dye-based ink, so you can just clean it off with water, and we are good to go. That's it. Just kind of building. Like I said, any kind of background stamp that you guys have will work. I just love this set. I love this here, the film strip. There's just so much to do on this set to kind of build your layers. Okay, stick that. Okay, no, we're not going to fight the packaging. We will do that later. Okay, we got our background. We got that stamp. So now what we're going to do is put foam tape on the back side of this. And we want foam tape. We're going to do 1, 2, 3, because we don't want it to buckle in the center. Okay, so 1, 2, 3. I ripped that one too short, ripped that one too long. Story of my life. Okay, so we have that, and then we're just going to pop that right in the center. Right, Kathy? It's a beautiful set. It's a great stamp set. I think I'll have to come back to that one a lot too. I think this is just my favorite things. This whole kit was just amazing. I love Katie. She's an amazing designer, and her products she designs just makes it so easy to work with. Okay, that little strip that we have, we're going to put some glue on the back side of that. Again, I'm just using liquid, and we're just going to glue it over here. Just building a layer, and we're just going to squirt it right there. Okay, perfect. All right, then we have the other two pieces that were homework. We are just going to kind of put them on here. I'm going to put one that goes up and one that kind of goes down. So I'm going to stack them. See, I'm just going to stack them. Again, just kind of spot check, put some glue on there. Hold that down while I'm working. Okay, now I'm going to have to get my paperweight out because I see why Jennifer uses those. Just so much easier to hold. Okay, so there's glue on the other one. And this guy is going to come down. And again, just kind of overlap them. Okay, so there's the background. Now we're going to, I didn't pull the die cuts out for you guys. Here's the die cuts we used. We used the frame. I love that frame. The flower was gorgeous. There was so many gorgeous ones in here, right? So many. Oh, we have to die cut one more thing. So there's all the die cuts that we pulled for homework from our thing, from our lasers. We need one more die cut. Oh, we already cut it. No, we didn't. This guy that we had earlier, that was your scrap, we need to die cut him out. So this one is 1, 2, 3. Ooh. Let me see how many we're doing here. 1. Oh my gosh. I need to put these on a you put them on a magnetic sheet. 1, 2, 3, 4. This one's number 5. This one's number 5. So it is, let me just measure it so it might be easier for you guys. Make sure that's the right one. Yeah, it is about 2 1/4. 2 1/4. And we are going to die cut that out of the center of this one. Okay, so I'm out of space on my table, so I'm going to go to the floor really quick. And this you can totally use for something else, but we're going to use this one. Oh, thank you, Evelyn. Thank you, thank you. She said, exceptional cards today from both of us. Okay, so there's that. Now we're going to do something kind of a little different. So go ahead and we're going to put foam tape on the back of this. So 2 strips of foam tape, and I think we might go over a hair, but that'll be okay, just a hair. I really want to get this one done. I kind of have a trick that I do for this too. I get a lot of questions from people. They're like, how do you build your layers? How do you tuck? How do you poke? Basically what I usually do is I find a center thing. I find a focal point, something I like this frame. That frame is my focal point. I did not want to peel that off yet. See, I can't talk and craft at the same time. I want to find a focal point, and then I basically lay the focal point on there, and then I tuck everything in and around it, okay? So find a focal point, add that on, and then you're going to tuck and put everything around it. I'm putting my sticker back on that because I didn't mean to pull that off yet, guys. Don't pull those off yet. I'm going to cut it off so it doesn't interfere with my designing here. Okay. So leave that on. And what I'm going to do is, this is kind of the piece that we're going to build on. I'm not sticking it down yet. We're just going to put it on there. And my focal point pretty much that we want to have is this guy right here. Okay. So this is our focal point. I'm going to put a square dot here and here. So at the top and at the bottom. Ooh, I think I like that side better. No, they both look good. Top and the bottom, I'm going to put a little foam. Okay, a little foam dot. I'm not actually pulling it off yet. So I'm going to put my foam dot, my guy right there at the top. Okay, so he's just kind of laying in just like that. So right now we're just laying everything. Everything's just getting laid in. Okay. And then my next piece for my focal point was this flower. And I know I want him on there. And I'm going to put a pop dot behind the two on the yellow. On the yellow, I'm going to put a pop dot. Okay? Pop there, pop there. Just looking to see, you know, when you do something, then you're like, what did I do again? How was my layers? Okay, so we are good. Okay, so then we're just going to lay that on top. So we're just still building our design. We're building our design. We got that on there. We got on there. Now we're going to build with our leaves. So we've got this big leaf, and we're going to kind of tuck him in. And when I'm tucking, you can tuck on the top, or you can tuck underneath of the piece. I'm going to kind of tucky him underneath. I think I want him going underneath, and he's coming kind of out like that. Okay, so we just kind of keep building our composition. And then we've got the big leaf. We're going to flip it, and I'm going to go in, and I want the big leaf. Again, I'm going to tuck it kind of underneath, okay? Still tucking it underneath. This guy, we're just going to tuck, and we're just keep tucking and kind of building our composition. Trying to see if I put him underneath or on top. Not that it matters, but I'm just making sure I got my pieces still going in. This guy, I kind of actually put him on top. There we go. I like that. We're just kind of tucking. Then we've got the bigger leaf. And again, this one's going to go underneath the whole composition. So he's kind of sticking out the top. Everybody's still wiggly. This one, we're going to go on top. Kind of build that. This one, we're going to, again, kind of stay on the top, and we're just kind of tucking everybody. until you kind of get what you like. And because nothing's glued down yet, it gives you the opportunity to kind of wiggle, kind of place things, see where you kind of want them, or see how pieces are going. Then I liked that guy, so we're going to kind of sneak him in behind there. This calendar was cute. I'm going to sneak him up there. And that pretty much is the composition. That is what I'm going with. These guys will go over here eventually, but I feel like that guy shifted on me. There we go. So you kind of just get it to where you like it. Because I'm a visual person. I have to see, I gotta feel it, I gotta tuck it. And you could be gluing these pieces as you go, but sometimes as you glue them, they shift and they end up in a spot that you don't want them. Okay, I am happy with that. Okay, it allows you to tuck. What I do is once I kind of have it, and that's the way I want it and what I love, I take press and seal, and I'm going to go in and press it on my entire thing. So now everybody is pretty much freezed where I need them. Everybody is frozen. Okay. Then I flip over my press and seal. Except for that piece right there, it fell off. And this is where you can start taking your glue and gluing the pieces together. You just kind of lift a piece, add some glue, squirt some glue, and you can now glue your pieces to each other, to themselves, and you don't have to try to finagle it and get it back in because everybody's kind of freezed. Sometimes when you put pop dots and stuff on, it's hard to reposition and figure out how to get things underneath it. So press and seal is just one of those little tricks. So this guy, I'm peeling the backing off of him now. He's going to go right there in the center. Right in the center. And then these guys, I'm going to kind of spot check on the back of them to kind of glue them down in the bottom layers. I'm going to peel off my foam. It's just, and sometimes I'll lay my layers out and then I'll take a picture of it too with my camera. And then that way I know kind of how to position them back. But sometimes they just never go back to the spot that I want them to. Okay. So then we're just going to press that. Remember, it has the glue on the back side, and then we can release. And now everything should be frozen. Oops, except for that. It let loose. It wasn't dry yet. I got impatient. It wasn't dry. On that. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of go in behind because the majority of it's frozen where I want it. And I'm going to sneak some pop dots now in behind these bigger leaves, these bigger portions, because I didn't put glue on all of those. I kind of just glued them to each other, but not really to the card parts. So you can kind of lift and put some foam underneath those if you want to give them a little life. So that kind of helps you do your layers, and then that way you guys can position it a little bit easier. And then once it's down, then you can add your pop dots, add your pieces. This guy's flapping, so we're going to add some glue there. But it kind of gives you your positioning, so it's a little bit easier to work with. You know what? I kind of want a foam dot. Behind that leaf. There we go. How's that looking? You like it? Then we have that fabulous dragonfly that's left. So he's just going to get glued on there. And you guys have tons of ephemera still left. So feel free to embellish, add more ephemera, add more pieces, keep tucking them in, keep adding all those pieces. We're going to put heart and soul down here. Keep adding all those pieces to it. And look, we are perfect on time. I thought I was going to go over. So thank you everybody so much from the bottom of our hearts for joining us for these crafty hours. This one was using the Arden kits from KDP, and it was beautiful and stunning. And don't forget, if you need to grab some more papers, grab some more laser cuts, contact your home store, Clipper Street or Scrapbook-N-Memories, and grab those items to make more cards. Don't forget to join our private Facebook group called Crafty Hour Creations, and post your creations over there in our private Facebook group, because we love to see your guys' interpretations, and we love to see what you guys create with all the remaining pieces and stuff that are in there. So tomorrow at 11 o'clock Central, 9 o'clock Pacific, we will go live with the next Crafty Hour number 66. We've already created an event, so just check that you're going, so Facebook sends you a reminder. And then we will be on to show you the reveal of the next Crafty Hour kit, which I think is going to be another fabulous one. And we will be plugging the links to our website so you can purchase them over there also. So thank you so much for joining me tonight. Have a fabulous and safe weekend, everybody. And we will see you tomorrow for the next Crafty Hour reveal. Thank you, and bye-bye.